Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another live stream of mine. I decided to take a break during this week and not do any morning live stream, but I had cooking to do today and I had laundry to do as well. So I had a host of things to do. I sat down and prepared some thumbnails for my future live streams. I and I also and I also one second, what is this now? And I also prepared um, some content. So I also prepared some content. So just getting everything done and ready. So, but I'm thinking maybe I think I should be, I should go into do at least 1 hour live stream. I'm thinking I should do at least an hour live stream. So let's see how things go. Filipina unique. Wow. Unique to see you here. That's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. Filipina unique. Angel, right? I call you Angel, right? Angelina, Angelica, something your name is, but I call you for short, I call you Angel. Am I right? So welcome here too. Welcome here. Yes, it's been a long time. I've been really busy for the last week. I've not had time to look into many videos. I was doing live stream in the morning and in the evening, and in between, so many other things to do. Welcome, Pita. Pita, my strong supporter. Iya, my strong supporter. Pita is always over here. Pita is always over here. And many a times, if I've not put up a post, she will always send me a WhatsApp message and say, Winston, are you going live today? And once I remember, I was telling her, just in 10 minutes, in 10 minutes. And I quickly had to prepare, the thumbnail and all those thumbnails. That's why I prepare thumbnails in advance. So, I know each thumbnail, what to talk about or what is the theme. And so I always keep the theme right. Okay. So that is our theme for today, for today's life. And of course, we talk about many other things, and we comment on the theme and we give our input into that. But then we just go everywhere, right? We just go from one to another. So yes, just this. So just comment. If you see my thumbnail, if you see my thumbnail, what do you think the girl is thinking? What do you think the girl is thinking? Dave, oh Dave, hello, how are you? That's nice. I know you can't be long. It is your work time, and I know you have to get ready. And still, thank you so much. In spite, you have to get ready for work and rush off, and you still, log on to my live stream, and thank you. I appreciate that a lot, Del. You're also always on the first like to comment on any videos that I post. So Thanks, Del, also for your support. It means a lot. And I'm really so happy to have a Filipino eunuch. Um, Angel, if you want to drop your link here, you're free to do that. You can drop in your link. And Maya and Machi and Ia, Dave said it's okay last time, but Del, if you ever want to drop your link also, please feel welcome. All right. Yes, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I cut off the morning live stream. Today I had laundry to do. I had I had cooking to do. Then, putting the clothes away after, they are dry. And then I sat down to do thumbnails for my live stream. I look for content, what I can be talking about, what theme should I keep for my live stream. And of course, we talk about other things as well. So just to comment, come on, let me see. Pita, 1 minute. Pita's. Yes, Pita, I will. I will. So, Angel, Filipina Unique, Angel, I'm making you a moderator as well. You are new here today. So, thank you, Pita. And yes, let me see comments on my theme today. Come on, let me see. So, Del, if you can spare a few minutes before you rush off to work. Pita, Ia, Filipino Unique, Angel, Machi, what do you think the girl is thinking? If you look at my thumbnail for today's live stream and just put in a small comment, what do you think the girl is thinking? Let's look at some variety of answers and pick up a discussion from that. Glenn's World, thank you so much, Glenn, for dropping by. Housework never ends. Housework never ends. But thank you. So, Glenn, before you rush off and before you go away, or you may just leave my live stream on while you're doing some work. But if you can spare just a minute or so, just drop in to a comment about what do you think the girl is thinking in my live stream. What do you think the girl is thinking? What do you think the girl is thinking in my thumbnail, the live stream thumbnail? What do you think the girl is thinking? So come on, I'm waiting to hear the comments. So Machi and Ia Vlogs. Thanks, Pita. So let's hear. What do you think the girl is thinking? I know you're not a magician, but what do you think? What do you think she is thinking? What do you think she is thinking? Just a thought. Tell me, what do you think she's thinking? Just drop a comment. What do you think she's thinking? Oh, welcome, Vinny. I think she is fascinated with the bell and maybe hoping it doesn't fall on her. Yeah, could be a possibility. Could be a possibility. Could be a possibility. I know I myself was very fascinated when I first, I went to that particular place. The name of that station and the name of the city over there, and it's a name of a province as well, Si Sa Ket. Okay, so the name of the province is Si Sa Ket, but they also sometimes write it as, they also sometimes write it all together as one word, Si Sa Ket, Si Sa Ket. Dave, if she was thinking of me, she would be looking at me when I was filming it, right? I was just at the side of her, to her right hand side. I was just at the side to her right hand side, and I was sitting there and I was filming it. So if she was thinking of me, she might have really been looking at me, right? She's looking somewhere up towards her left. She's looking somewhere up towards her left. I wish she was thinking of me. I would have then gone, if she made eye contact with me, I could have gone and spoken to her. But that was a good one, Del. But yes, if she was looking at me, I would have, also given her eye contact. But just as a footnote, Del, just as a footnote, she was there with a boyfriend. She was there with a boyfriend. So, Del, what do you think she's thinking about? You thought she's thinking about me. So I was saying I was really fascinated myself looking at that bell. You don't really see that nowadays, right? Now everything is electronic, but that particular station has still maintained, some kind of old tradition. And believe me, that train, I have a video about that. I have a couple of videos about that station, and I have never seen a station that long. Ooh, from one end to the other. I've never seen a station that long, so I was fascinated, by many things on that station. So I had a lot of time to kill. I was on my way back to Bangkok. So I had a lot of time to kill. So I decided, oh, why not make a video out of it? So I began to, film over there. One more thing unique in that video, I have put a few videos about, about that station. There was another very unique thing I had asked, but I did not get any comments from that on that video that time. But they do not have any kind of an overbridge to cross over from one side of the platform to the other side. They don't have any kind of overbridge or anything. So you see, they have kind of the platform is kind of low, and then they have kind of some wooden blocks, put down, and that is where they just come down the platform onto the track, and they cross over to the other side over the other track, and then they go to the platform on the opposite side. And that's really great, like, to see. And there are so many staff there working, doing different jobs. In that, I also put up a video about, what was it? I put up a video about, uh, yes, there was a security guard, like, a security guard, like, there. And she was doing so many things that, I was a bit surprised to see. Like, she seemed to be, like, kind of saluting, and every passenger that came out of the train, every passenger that came out of the train. Then she was very helpful. She was very helpful about, being kind to people, and anybody in need of anything. Then I didn't get a chance to go close up for a video. They may not like it, I thought. But then there was a kind of a fountain or some kind of decorative piece there. And I think something was wrong with that. Something was wrong with that. So she went across there, and she was, like, kind of, moving things around and kind of repairing, and, making it seem better. So, you know, uh, they're very kind people, very kind people. And as you go, up to these other provinces, more kind of towards rural living. Of course, there's the main city, but there's also rural living, like, So the people are very nice, very courteous. I went to a restaurant, and I was using the translator to find out about if they have the meal I want, and they did not have it. So I suggested to them, whatever you think is nice, whatever is your best preparation, just give it to me. And so they gave me some chicken dish. It was nice. It was nice. So please come on, all those on the channel, all those on the live stream, sorry, please drop in some comment. What do you think the girl is thinking about? Come on, let's have some fun. What do you think the girl is thinking? So Dell mentioned that he thinks the girl is thinking about me. So I said, if she had eye contact with me, maybe. But on another note, she was already with her boyfriend over there. Anyone to comment on the theme? Anyone passing by? Anyone stopping by? Anyone? Or maybe you are all thinking what to say. You are thinking, what is the girl thinking? So you are trying to think too long. Any first thought that comes to your mind, like, what is the girl thinking? I wish I also really knew what she was thinking about. I don't know. And one thing strange I found, she was sitting quite in the way. She was sitting quite in the way for the workers to go in and out of that, like, the man who was in charge. There were two men who were in charge. And before the train could come, they would go and ring that bell. They would just ring it with their hand. And they had different kinds of ringtone. And finally, when the train was about should be leaving, then again they went and rang the bell. And this takes me back to the days when I used to go with my father. He was a railway guard. So when I used to travel with him, in his cabin at the end of the train, I used to see this in some upcountry stations, as you are going, some upcountry stations, they used to have this bell as well. So it was really good. Like Bombay didn't have it, but these other countries used to have it. So very fascinating, very fascinating. And in those days, of course, during the day, they used to wave the flag, the red flag and the green flag. But during the night, they had a kind of a lantern. They had a lantern. And that lantern, if you turn one side, it was red. And if you turn it, then move it back and turn it the other side towards the flame, then it would show, the flame would pick it up and it would show green. So that's how they would do it at night. They would stand, hold on to the railing, and then they would wave this lantern, They would wave this lantern. So either it was green or it was red. Then sometimes some express trains, they do not stop. They do not stop next to any station. I mean, they do not stop at some of the smaller stations. Okay, a passenger train would stop, but then the express trains, they would not stop at smaller stations. So when they are running through, the guard has to put out his flag during the day, the green flag, or during the night, the lamp showing the green color. He had to put it out. That was to show that the guard is still awake, because if they did not see that light, if they did not see the light or the flag during the day and the light during the night, then they would presume something has happened to the guard. Of course, sometimes the guard would drop off to sleep, right? So the guard always took somebody. He's not permitted to actually do it, not allowed to take anybody into his brake van, behind. But no, sometimes they would take people, railway people, of course, who he knew. He would take them, and then he would tell them, "I'm just having a short nap. Can you, when we pass these few stations?" And some of them knew, like, what is the work, like, so, or which stations and things like that. So they would willingly do it. When I traveled with my dad, I was very happy to do it. And many times I was just alone with my dad, in the cabin. So I would very willingly do it, like, because then you don't have to show yourself just from the open window, like you just show the flag or the lamp. So yes, I enjoyed that. Any comments? What is the girl thinking? Yes, I've really been fascinated with these railway station get bell, like, it's like a big gong. It's like a big gong type, and it resonates very loud. Resonates very loud. Oh, the worst is when before the train is starting, before the train is starting, sometimes because like in India, there are crowds and crowds of people, right? So sometimes when the bell rings, oh my God, they'll be scampering and running and shouting to stop and, trying to hop in as the train is moving. And oh, it's sometimes chaos. It's sometimes chaos. And many times people have missed the train. They go out to eat, they go out to buy something. They may think that the toilet is cleaner at the railway station than it is in the train. So, for some reason or the other, they know the train stops only for a short while. If it's a big junction, then they would stop a little longer. But if it's a smaller station, they just stop a few minutes, like, In Thailand, they hardly stop 1 minute. 1 minute for people to enter and people to leave. But the outstation trains, they stop longer because people have to remove luggage, they have to put in luggage. But the local daily commuting trains, like, internal trains within the city, they stop for barely a minute, like, people in, people out. But they always have someone. There is a personnel who keeps looking out and seeing if everybody is in, and kind of it's clear, and then they you hear the sound, and the door begins to close. So those stations, the internal stations, they don't have a bell. They have all the modern equipment, I believe later on in years, they began showing torch. So either the torch had green in front, or it had a green glass or a red glass. So they would shine the torch, either the green glass torch or the red glass torch. So it became torches after that. But the lanterns were inconvenient. The lanterns, you have to make sure oil is in the lantern. Then you have to make sure that the wick is strong enough, and keep changing the wick. So there was a lot of things. Torch is so much easier. Just change the battery and you're ready to go. And torches would last for so long, right? Less of a danger also, because in case of any kind of minor accident, the lantern could break and oil could spill out, and then that would mean adding fire, right? A big hazard, fire hazard. So later on, it gave way to torches. I don't know what they are using now. I don't know what they are using now, but yeah, that's it. Okay, Pita, I understand. No problem. No problem. You are always multitasking. You are now used to it. It's second nature for you, and you can easily do multitasking of maybe at least about four or five things going on simultaneously. For me, it's very I cannot multitask like you. So anyone else there? Okay, Del, thank you so much. Have a good day at work. And I know when it's your own, you tend to do much more than what you would normally do, and it's all for your benefit, right? So even I always say you work extra time when it's your own. You spend extra time. So Del, thank you so much for stopping by, and have a wonderful day at work. And see you another time. Sure, see you another time. I'll come on every evening. I'll come on every evening at this time, 5 o'clock my time. Just a little shout out. Please remember Martha and Stephen Bennett. Martha and Stephen Bennett in your prayers. Martha has not been keeping too well, so just keep her in mind. And also remember Rusty. Remember Rusty. And also remember Myrna. Okay, also remember Myrna. Myrna is in hospital. She's also not keeping too well. So just remember Myrna, Martha, and Rusty. I have to get onto Rosemary's stream to see how Rusty is doing. I didn't get any notification today about Rosemary. I don't know. I didn't see any notification. So, but I had cooking, I had laundry. So tomorrow I can spend some more time, in the morning, checking out, Rosemary, and checking out a few others. Like today, I was on Machi's live stream in the morning, and then actually more towards the morning, more towards the afternoon, coming into the afternoon, late morning, and then again she happened to be on in the evening. So I left her thing on, but I was busy feeding the cats and then going in for my shower. So, but I kept it on to listen. Pita, yes, I can multitask. I do multitask, but not to that extent. And the thing is, when you are multitasking, you can concentrate very well. When you are multitasking, you can even concentrate very well. But I have a problem for that. Like when we are playing Scrabble, online Scrabble. When we are playing online Scrabble, you are still making very good words and bingo words and getting high points and all while you are multitasking. I if I try something else, I cannot concentrate. I cannot concentrate that much that well. Okay, you are thinking that girl is my daughter. No, my daughter has never come to Thailand. My daughter has never visited Thailand. In fact, I don't know what all countries my daughter has visited, except for studying in New Zealand for 4 years. I know she has visited Peru, and she has visited Peru at least twice. I know, but she was living in the forest, and of course Lebanon she's visited, and I cannot recall any other country she has visited. Dubai, of course, she grew up in Dubai when I was working there. My wife and I, she grew up there. Yes, she visited Disney Florida. Because we all met up over there, so my wife could see how big the grandchildren were at that time. So Disney Florida, my daughter was there. So I don't know what other country she has visited. Anyone else? Anyone else? What is the girl thinking of? Yeah, so I was mentioning that girl was like kind of sitting in the way for the people to come and go. But they would squeeze from the side, up or down into the office or out of the office. They would squeeze from the side, but they never told her to move one side, move back. If it was somebody else, they would snarl, they would snap, they would, be rude. But uh, you know here I told you, like, in this province, like, the province people, very kind people, very nice, good hearts they have, like. So I put out a lot of videos, of this place, Si Sa Ket. I put out a lot of videos. Anytime you get a chance, any of you want to see something more about that station, you can always go back and check my videos. So Pita, apart from being the principal now, what subject are you teaching? You got a teacher for English now, right? So what are the other subjects you are teaching now? Because you should have less teaching to do, because you have a lot of administrative work and lots of organizing and managing and things like that. Hello, Maya. Nice to see you here. How is Myrna doing? How is Myrna doing? Four subjects only. My God, that is too much. Handling four subjects is too much. Okay, how is Myrna? How's your sister? I hope I've got it right. Yes, I understand. Very difficult sometimes, very difficult. It all depends on your employer, how your employer is. Maya, in my thumbnail for today's live stream, can you make a comment? What do you think the girl is thinking? Just drop in a small comment. What do you think the girl is thinking in this evening's live stream thumbnail? What do you think the girl is thinking? Dell said that the girl is thinking, maybe thinking of me. So I said if she was having eye contact with me, then I would believe she was thinking of me. And Pita first said she is not a magician to know, but then I said, just like whatever you think, Then she's saying she thought that that was my daughter. So I said, no, my daughter has never visited Thailand. Sorry, something's tickling my nose. So I said, my daughter's never visited Thailand. And so I'm looking for some comments. What do you think the girl is thinking? The thumbnail on my live stream. What is she thinking? Thank you, Winnie. If Steven ever passes by, we will know like how she was doing this week, Martha. This station, Si Sa Ket, it is in along the northeastern region. It's along the northeastern region, and it's that northeastern region is known as Isan. And the people over in that area, and it's a vast area. Okay, Isan, it's a vast area, and the people in that area, they have their own language, a dialect of Thai. It's like Philippines. The words are completely different, for certain things. Um, so it's called the Isan, and most of the people there are very poor. Most of the people there are very poor, and that is why, like in places like in Bangkok and Phuket, Pattaya, etc., you find like many of the bar girls and things like that are mostly from this Isan region. So like this is the only best way that they can earn quick money, send back home to their parents, to their younger siblings and things like that. So most of the most of the girls working in the bars and all in all the places in Thailand, like mostly from this Isan region. Poverty is really so low there. Okay, Maya says that the girl is thinking about the next activity she's going to do for living. Yes, uh, yes, Maya, could be she's thinking what to do, because that's a very poor region. That's a very poor region, and oh my God, sorry. And she must be traveling somewhere. But she was sitting there with a boyfriend. That's why I was telling Dell she could not be thinking of me because she didn't make eye contact with me. But and I was also filming. So, oh, come to think of it, maybe she was trying to look the other way because she knew that I was shooting a film, like, I was doing some video recording. So, I think maybe that is why she was just looking away from it, like, because I was sitting to her right. I was sitting down to her right. And like, I did not mean to capture her. Honestly, I did not mean to capture her, but it was like the people were coming from in and out of the room, and they were coming and ringing the bell and stopping there. And I've got another small shot only on the ringing of the bell, you know so uh, I tried to avoid her, but then when I was taking a little more longer video, I couldn't help it. But like, when they were coming in and out, and then like, it just stayed on for a short time. So I just took a picture of that, and PNG, and I just used it for my theme today. But in the video, there's a very short of her being in the video, very short time. So I did not really focus on her, like, I did not focus on her, and I did not take a picture. I only took a video. So she's very short time she is on the video. Hardly, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, like 5 seconds, hardly. So thank you, Maya. Thank you for your intake for that. Thank you for sharing that. So, Yes, that Isan is a very poor region. Poor people mostly in that region. So, it's sad. What they have to do just for a livelihood. Many of them, like they earlier, they work like in a factory or something like that. But so poorly paid, they cannot make ends meet. They cannot take care of their aged parents. They cannot like take care of the younger siblings, and it's hard work, like over there on the farms. If they work, it is hard life on the farms, and there also, how much are they going to make and things like that. So they go off to do these jobs. Cannot help it. It's very sad. So in that region, I've also visited another place. I stayed there for 5 months. It's called Ubon Ratchathani. I stayed there for 5 months. I stayed on a beautiful resort. I stayed in a beautiful resort. Early morning, when you get up and come out of your resort, you see the sunrise, you see rice fields, you see um, what's that? Papaya trees. You see some flowers, and you see a nice hill, very very beautiful hill, like so very nice scenery. And you can come out from the back of the room. From the back of the room, there's an entrance onto a little porch, and if you sit on that porch, you will see a little kind of pond a little pond, like belonging to the resort. So they created that pond, and there's some fish and all in that. One side of the pond, there's a little bit of the fish and all that, and snakes also you get there. There was once a snake in the room that I went to stay. A snake had entered over there, and lucky nobody was staying. But when the owner went in there to clean the room, like to get the room clean, and she opened the toilet door to go in and get it clean, she saw the snake right in the middle of the floor, like and then quickly she called the other people and all that, and then they managed to get hold of the snake. And even another time, I used to have lunch with their food, my meals with them. I used to have my meals with them. And one night, like that time, then what happened was I moved from the cottages. They had cottages. I moved from the cottage to one of the rooms in their house, like because I was telling the owner, if I am staying in the cottage, that means uh, they will have one guest less. And sometimes they get guests that want to occupy all three cottages. They had three cottages, concrete, and they had one Thai cottage. So Thai cottage, one of her daughters was staying with a boyfriend. So I said, if I'm staying in this, and sometimes the people come and they want to book all three cottages, and because one cottage was occupied by me, so they would not book the other two. They would go nearby to another place and they would book three cottages there, like So I kept trying to make the owner understand. Give me a room in your because give me a room in your one of your in your house. Give me one of your rooms, like so many rooms she had over there. So then finally, the owner agreed and said okay, and then she had one more daughter actually who used to stay there, but then uh, before I went there also, the daughter had already moved off. She was doing her teacher's training, and she had moved off to some other place to do it. Then later on, because I was staying in that room, later on they had another building with a big room where their father used to be, mostly a big room with AC and all. And at the side of that, they had a storage room. They had a storage room. So what they did was the other end of that storage room, because one side was this other big room, and the other side was of the storage room, they constructed a smaller room. So then when this daughter who's teaching, when she used to come, then she and her boyfriend used to stay there, like So they constructed an extra room there for the daughter with a toilet and all. So yeah, so I had that room. So one day, what happened? There was a big commotion going on, and there's these places they have. They have a big hall, like for any gatherings. Any gatherings and all that. They all come and they sit in that hall and they are having their meal and all that. And we had all retired to bed. So I was in my room. Suddenly, I heard big commotion. Shouting and all, because there was she had a young niece staying with her over there, her sister's daughter. So ran out to see and come, something she was shouting, come, like, so went out and all. I saw the mother so brave. She was with a stick, she was hitting a snake. So I also very bravely picked up another kind of a stick, and I also went to keep hitting it on his head, like, I told the mother, stand one side, let me do it. So, I also kept hitting. And then it was dead. I don't know. You don't know whether it's a male or a female. And they say the female snakes, they capture the people in the camera, like, in their eyes, they capture. That's what I've heard stories, like, growing up and all. So I said, like, better burn it, better burn the snakes. It's better if they are burned. They said, no, no, let it be. In the morning, we'll see to it now. Let's go to sleep. In the morning, we'll see, what to do with it. So they just left the snake one side there, and everybody went to sleep. Next morning, I didn't even bother to ask what they did. And the house that they were living in, the house was built on stilts, and the stilts was in another pond, but that pond was kept nice and clean and taken care of because they used to take care of fish in that pond. And once I remember, I went to the main city. And to the main Ubon city. I went there. It's about like 1.5 hour to 2 hours drive from where we were. We were in one of the smaller villages. So it was like 1.5 to 2 hours drive into Ubon, main city of Ubon, and went and visited the market, saw, the different markets, different malls there. And over there also then picked up a lot of bags of fish, like for 100 baht, like 100 local currency, 100 baht, like picked up a variety of different bags of fish, for 100 each. And when they came home, then they emptied it into the pond. So every morning and early evening was feeding time for the fish. So her niece used to help in feeding, and other kids that used to pass by and come, and other relatives and all that. Then they would, take turns to feed the fish. And then I remember before coming away, uh, they had one fish harvest. So I saw the men how they were walking into wading into the pond, and how they placed the nets and everything. And then after some time, how they went and collected the nets and saw the fish and all that. So they see the fish, and according to how much the fish they've caught, then they pay the owners. They pay the owners. So it's a pity. I don't have any videos about that. I'm sure I did take out videos. But I don't have any in my gallery. I don't have in my gallery, and also on Google Photos, I have not seen, but I know I have taken out some videos because that fish really fascinated me. Many times I used to sit down with the niece over there, and then there was another the brother's son. Um, he used to come over, so he also would help and try to throw the fish food. And the owner's brother had a business. He used to uh, he used to take care of and train roosters for the cockfights. So he used to be training them and selling them. That's the business, and he sells to all the neighboring countries. Okay, I don't know about Philippines, but all the neighboring countries like Cambodia, Vietnam, and a lot of rooster, cockfights over there. So he sends it out there to them. Like, so he's doing a very good business there, very profitable business. One day I went. I went to see a live cockfight, but it took some time. People had not yet come, enough people, so to participate, and I had to have an online class, so I quickly left then from there, and I came away. So, but I did see a cockfight when I was first time when I went to Philippines, Caloocan. I did see a cockfight. My God, those Filipinos, they get crazy, watching. They get crazy watching, and what yelling, screaming, and sometimes they are fighting among themselves also. Forget about cocks fighting; they are having a fight among themselves and arguing and all that, and what betting and all what's going on. Oh my gosh! So that's the first time I saw in videos, but that's the first time I saw, right in front of my eyes. I saw it happening, like, live. Only that once I went, I never went again. And it's so sad, the way they tie those kind of small knives and all that, like, the poor rooster is bleeding, So it was interesting to watch, but once was enough. It was interesting to watch, but once was enough. I didn't want to go and see it again. And I was more not so much of the roosters and all. I was more worried about these Filipinos getting into an argument and a fight, and if you are caught in the middle of that, like I said no, I don't want to take a risk. They so frenzy they get, so frenzy they get. What about anyone knows about cockfight in Philippines? Anyone else like in your area? They have it. So after that, I never had a chance of going again to see a cockfight. They had it only on certain days, and mostly it was on a Sunday, and Sunday was the time I had class. So I couldn't go and watch. And it's no point in going all that way and then just sitting and waiting. No point of sitting and waiting. Yes, I have a lot of experiences. I have a lot of experiences, good experiences, bad experiences. But yes, I love to share. Like I'd mentioned before, I had a security guard, young chap he was, and I used to tell him so many stories, and he used to be very happy, And I said, "You must be bored," and he's saying, "No, I learn a lot." He's saying from whatever you tell me. And he's saying, like, they are all your practical experience. So they are real, they are real. So it is good, it is good for me. I love to listen to it. And we used to do night duty. So that was one way of passing our time. That was one way that, we could pass time and not feel sleepy, whole time like that. And poor fellow, after doing a full job, over the night, like when he went home, just have a shower and everything. And then he used to do courier service, like not the courier, not courier service, like how they have Grab. So like that, he would do that for food, food delivery. I forget now what was the name over there. I forget, but like how they have Grab and all these kind of things. A line here they have Grab, lineman, a couple of these things. Pick up the order from one side, go somewhere else, and pick up the food, then go and deliver the food. One day, One day when we were a security guard, one day when we were there, one delivery guy came. Just one delivery guy came, and then okay, we directed him where he has to go. Sorry, we don't send them up. We ask for the person to come down. So we call the person and tell them that your food is come, please come down. And we just couldn't contact that person. We called the landline, we called the cell phone, and like maybe he dropped off to sleep, he or she, whoever it was, dropped off to sleep or what. Anyhow, we couldn't, and that guy was waiting like almost 10 minutes. And then he said he cannot keep waiting. And when he looked at his phone, he had already got paid, and he got paid like some 30 or $40. Like, so he's saying, wow, I got a good money on this, he said. So I don't know, he said. He said, can I leave the food here? I said, no, we cannot just keep, because food is perishable, right? So we cannot just keep the food. He's saying, no, don't keep it. You'll eat it. If the man is not there, what to do, like, correct? So you can eat the food. We said, no, sorry, it's not a policy to take it. Some people take, some of the guards, they are shameless. They are shameless. But this guy and myself, like, no, if there was another guard with me, yes, he would do it. He would take the food and eat. I would never eat that food. Yes, Pita, I've got a lot of experience. And I like to share it. I like to share. You never know when somebody can learn something from that, right? Somebody can learn something. Somebody can see that, okay, this is a new way of thinking, a new way, so, or from that, they may be able to think something better, right? They may be able to think something better. It gives them like a boost, food for thought. Uh, just excuse me, I must have a sip of water. My throat has really been playing up last few days. Okay. Like Pitta was telling me the other day, you should keep water near you. I said, yes, I keep many things near me. But yes, water I do keep. Stephen, long life for you. Just little earlier, I was just talking about, Stephen working very hard, and maybe he will pop in or pop out, or on the way to work or returning from work or whatever. Is your 6 days of vacation over? You said you were having 6 days of vacation, right? So are you back to work? Is your 6 days over? Or I think maybe one day or something left, right? If I'm not mistaken, 1 or 2 days or one day left. Time is flying, time is flying. I remember when it was middle of the month and I was saying, wow, already 16th. Okay, you don't go back till Thursday night. Okay, that's good. Still a few days left. That's good. Um, twice I've already mentioned. And once I've written down and kept here as well to remember Martha, Rusty, and Myrna. So how's Martha doing? Still improving, doing better. How is Martha doing, Stephen? Okay, okay. Hope things are. Hope things will go better still for her. I'm sure all those on my live stream and all those who are, on my channel, I'm sure they are all praying, I'm sure they are all praying. Do you, how is it in the US? How is it in the US? Do you get appointments very easily? Because in Canada, like, sometimes an appointment can be 6 months later. Honestly, 6 months later. And Stephen, one more thing before you think of leaving. Uh, Give me a caption for my thumbnail today, for today's live stream. For today's live stream. Yes, Pita, carry on with your dinner. No, no problems. Carry on, have your dinner. So, Stephen, if you can just give in a comment, like, what do you think the girl is thinking? The thumbnail on my live stream for today. What do you think the girl is thinking? If you can just put in a comment. So, Dell is from UK. So Dell said that he feels she is thinking about me. He thinks she is thinking about me. So I said, no, I don't think so, because if she was thinking about me, she would have maintained eye contact with me. But instead, she is looking the other side because I was to her right when I was doing the shooting. And then on a footnote, I also said that she was already there with a boyfriend. Then Pita said that she's not a magician to know, but I said, whatever is your thought? And then she said, I thought that was your daughter. So I said, no, my daughter has never visited Thailand. And Maya said, oh, Maya said she must be thinking about what to do next, what kind of job can she have for her living. And that is a very poor region. It's in a region in Thailand called Isan. That comes, and most of the places in Isan, the people are very, very poor. Just little earlier, I had mentioned something about the people in that region. Yes, with the family physician, yes, correct. Family physician, you can get in an appointment anytime, because the more your health card is swiped, the better for them, right? So correct, with the family physician, right? You can always get appointments fast. And like where I used to go, they even have walk-in. They even have walk-in. But sometimes if it's extra crowded, they will tell the walk-in that we've got a lot of appointments. Are you able to wait? And according to turn, we can push you in sometimes. We can just push you in sometimes. They will give them a approximate kind of a timing, like then it's left up to them if they would like to stay or not. Okay, some specialists usually about a month. Okay, fine. Like one of my colleagues, like when a place where I was working, so she had skin cancer. So what happened was, she used to get, even though she was like in quite a dangerous state level of cancer, she used to get her appointments like 6 months later. Like I just wonder, other physicians, other doctors, other specialists in Canada really, really so busy and have so many cases. Anyhow, just for fun, there's no right or wrong here, because as Pita said, very difficult. How can we know what she's thinking, right? So it's correct. Even I do not know. I was sitting there filming it, but I do not know. But I know I was very fascinated with the bell, so I thought maybe she's also fascinated with the bell, because that's what she seems to be looking at. She seems to be looking up in the direction of the bell, because what happens is, there were two employees and they would come, and I think one was the station master. So normally one guy would be ringing it, but the station master came out now and then and rang it himself. So I think she was also fascinated and, looking at the bell, because uh, somebody had just come out and rung the bell. I have a video about that also. So somebody had just rung the bell, and she was actually sitting in the doorway, and they would have to sidestep and come, like, but very kind. They never told her to move out of the way or anything. Like, her chair was too close to the step and right in the middle, like, for them to come out. But they would come out from the side, or enter the office from the side. So I think she looked at the bell and she was fascinated with that. So there is no right answer and wrong answer. Like one person wrote, no, on the to AI, they wrote, like, and said, can you please tell me, like, how I can get across to my wife? I find it very difficult to understand, and AI came back with a message, with a short message saying, when you find out, please let me know, because we also don't know. So you are right, Stephen. But just for the heck of it, like, what do you think, like, she would be thinking of looking at that? Uh, what caption would you give, like? Yes, yes, could be possible. Steven says maybe she's thinking about buying one, because in these rural areas, like, you don't really find these kind of bells at stations. Like, you don't find it, right? Everything is so modernized now. But like, I was surprised to still see that bell, but that bell is only on outstation when you're traveling, like, to some other provinces, some other city out of, Bangkok and things like that. Then you see this, but within Bangkok, no. Within Bangkok, it's all like electronic, but outstation. But even then, I went to a place called Ubon, and there is Si Sa Ket, and the next station after Si Sa Ket is Ubon. That's the final terminal on the northeastern line, railway line from Bangkok. So it terminates there. So even at that, I have been to Ubon, but I, of course, the transport came to pick me up, so maybe I was concentrating more on that. And when I was returning, also I came by train, but I had luggage with me, so I was concentrating on my luggage. So maybe I didn't take note whether, Ubon also had it's the final destination after this train station called Si Sa Ket. So I don't know if they have it. I went to another province called Chiang Mai, but I went by train as well. But When I think of it now, I don't recall at the stations we stopped, but it was a night journey, and I was sitting down just for a short part of the evening, and then I had the upper bunk. I had the upper bunk. I had to get up there, and yeah, so I had to get the upper berth. So I went to the upper berth, and then you cannot come down, otherwise you're disturbing the person down like. But they had like a curtain and all drawn, so that you're not, whatever you want to do behind closed curtains, you can do. So yeah, thanks Stephen for your answer. So I've not really noticed if there's any, bells in those rural stations, but here, it just fascinated me. I had a lot of time to kill, and the station was very long. I've never seen any station as long as this one. Like, the opposite platform wasn't that long, but this particular platform was um, really huge, really huge. I did make a video walking from one end of the platform almost to the other end. Like, I think I did it in breaks. I walked to the middle part, and then from the middle later on, I walked off to the other end. So yes, very very. I was fascinated by that, and I had a lot of time to kill. I had a lot of time to kill. So finally, I decided, let me take a video. And I had started my live stream a few months before that. I'm sorry, I had started my posting on my channel, on my YouTube channel. A few months before I started posting. So I started from May 9th last year, my first video I posted. And this was somewhere in the month, this was in the month of August. Because in the month of August, I remember I had moved here. I moved here, and then I had this visit to make. So it was last year in August. Or could have been end of July. I came here in the third week of July. So between the third week of July and the first week of August, because second week of August I had left for my 2 month trip. I had left for my 2 month trip. So yeah. So that's when I made it. So I was into YouTube, so that's why I had made a video. UK now it is about 6 o'clock. But you are in Ohio. You are from Ohio. What's the time like there now in Ohio, Stephen? I could Google and check. One second. Let me check on my phone. Okay, 6:18 a.m. Yeah. Where is it? I just Googled. Come on, come on, come on, come on. What happened? Yeah, 6:18 a.m. I just Googled also. Thanks, Stephen. Yes, I must remember that time. 6:18. Okay, so we are like 12 hours. Okay. I should remember that now. 12 hours. I think last time also you had mentioned it, and I seem to have forgotten. So 12 hours, Ohio. Okay. Must remember that. So 12 hours. So you get up very early, Stephen. You get up very early, like even on a holiday like it. You get up early. Even I like to get up early. I like to get up early. Even if I go to bed late, sometime I'm going to bed like around 1:30, 2 o'clock. I still get up at about 6 o'clock. I get up. If I sleep late, I get a little lazy in the morning to get up, but no, I get up. I keep my fixed time. I get up and I don't sleep during the day. I've never had the habit of sleeping during the day. So, ah, so when you're working, you get up even earlier, right? True. But really, I used to hate the 12-hour shifts whenever I had on the weekend because the supervisor would get the off on the weekends. And therefore, we were like the two guards, like we had to take a 12-hour shift. Do they call the night shift the graveyard shift in the US as well? In Canada, they used to refer it to as the graveyard shift. Do they use that term in the US as well for the night shift? Pita is busy feeding her face. It is dinner time. Maybe she's finishing by now. Pita has not been keeping well recently, also. Yeah. So, Stephen, if you don't mind saying, how does it work? Like, how many days day shift? Then, how much time do you have off? And then, how many days you go again for your night shift? Like, how many days off do you have in between your change of shift? We used to have 2 days. We used to have 2 days, but they were not fixed. The 2 days was not fixed. It came on a rota business. It came like on a rota. Uh, some places, some places there were sometimes there were 3 days, 3 days. Except for uh, there was one place I used to work for 4 days. I used to work for no first I used to work for 5 days and have 2 days off. Then I jumped into another shift when the person left, and I used to take 4 days working and 3 days off. Then later on, I jumped into another guy left. I jumped into his shift and I took like 3 days working, 4 days off. But that was because of spending more time at home with my wife because she was very ill, right? Bedridden and all. So just for that, salary was low, income was low, but you know, spending time with her was a little bit important, especially when she started getting worse. But I had to wait for an opportunity to do that. Oh, 4 nights, 4 days off, 3 days, 3 nights off. Okay. Tough that is. For 20 years you've been doing that. Tough, tough. But as the saying goes, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, right? When the going gets tough, the tough get growing. So I guess you're used to it now. 20 years, you're used to it, and now you're a oh, but you're a supervisor, but you still have these kind of shifts, right? In the security line, the supervisors are very lucky. They have the weekend off, and that is why the other security guards, they have to do a 12-hour shift. So every Saturday, Sunday, the supervisor has an off. Very lucky. According to the rota system, we might come on a weekend off, like after about 3 weeks or something. We may come on a weekend off, or on the fourth week we'll get a weekend off. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. For us we got paid according to only the days that we worked. Off days there was no payment. There was no like monthly payment. It was all according to the number of hours that we worked. So they never really gave us a 1 hour lunch break. They would say like try to finish 15 minutes to half an hour, like try to finish your lunch and get back to work. And they used to pay us continuously. They used to pay us continuously. Yet when I was working for Carrier Canada, we used to get 1 hour off and for lunch, but they never paid us for that 1 hour. So like we used to be there 8 hours, but we got only 7 hours pay. So they never paid us for the 1 hour lunch break. We were never paid for that. And there also, even when I became permanent, there was no kind of monthly packet. There was no kind of monthly packet. They just like according to the number of days you work. So if you took time off from work, well, that was no salary for you, unless of course it was like according to the sick days you have, and those kind of things. All right. So you have a couple of supervisors there. For the security jobs, like the security guard job, which I had to do after I was removed from Carrier Canada. They were downsizing. So the security jobs, what happens is that if it's one building, they have only one security guard, right? So what happens is the supervisor will come and the supervisor will work for an 8 hour shift, and the supervisor will always have a morning 8 hours. So let's say the last condo where I worked, the last condo I worked before I, hung up my boots. So there, like he used to come from 7 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I used to go from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 8 o'clock in the night. And then the night guard, he used to come from, sorry, to 11 o'clock in the night, from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 11 o'clock in the night. And then the graveyard shift used to start from 11 o'clock in the night to 7 o'clock next morning. So that is how it was like. So during 5 days, during the Monday to Friday, the supervisor was there. Now, what happened on the day the supervisor doesn't come? So let's say now it is Friday night. So Friday night, the security guard comes at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, 11 o'clock in the night. He comes and he relieves me. Then he's supposed to go at 7 o'clock in the morning and the supervisor has to come. But weekend, there is no supervisor. So what would happen from 11 in the night, he would be working to 11 in the morning. The graveyard shift would be from 11 in the night to 11 in the morning. And instead of me coming at 7 in the morning, I would have to come at 11 in the morning to 11 in the night. So that way we worked the graveyard shift for 12 hours on Saturday and Sunday. So the guy that worked from Friday night, 12 hours Friday night to Saturday morning, and then 12 hours again Saturday night to Sunday morning. But when he came on Sunday night for the job, the next morning, 7 o'clock, the supervisor would come. It would be Monday, so the supervisor would come. But he works Friday night and Saturday night, he works 12-hour shift. And I used to work 12-hour shift for the day on Saturday and Sunday. I would work the 12-hour shift daytime. It's lucky I never had shift duties. We all had these fixed. The graveyard shift he wanted the graveyard shift, so he used to do the graveyard shift. And I explicitly asked for a day shift. I said I am not working any other shift, I want a day shift. But since the supervisor does the morning shift 7 to 3, so the only day shift was 3 o'clock to 11 o'clock, 3 afternoon to 11 night. So that was the only day shift. But I took that up. And even when I had the first security job opposite my house, that I volunteer. I said I want only night shifts. For that one, I said I want only night shifts because during the day I could take care of my wife. So I volunteered to take night shifts for the first time in my life. I was already 60 plus. What 60 plus? I was almost near 65 maybe. So 60 plus. And first time in my life I did a night shift. It was very difficult the first week, the first 2 weeks. It was very difficult for me. And it's only lucky that I was on sleeping pills that time. I was on sleeping pills. So I could take my sleeping pill when I come home. But then there would be a disadvantage to that because if I took my sleeping pill and my wife had an emergency, I would be dead to the world. I would not even be able to hear her. And even if she calls, I might not be able to hear the phone. Like the phone would be on loud volume, but sometimes I would be so deep in sleep. So then I started reducing, a little bit. Like I started reducing and taking just half a pill, taking half a pill. That's why I opted for 3 days a week, 4 days off, because let it be if the salary is less, it was very difficult to manage, very, very difficult. But at least I have more time, at night to spend with her. And night she passed away. That was like Friday night, Saturday morning, and I was on the weekend shift, so I had gone to work at 11 o'clock that night. So I used to work from in the first condo. I used to work 11 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning, and we had like two buildings, and they were separate. One resident couldn't enter the other side. Their pass card would not work. But the first floor was common area, so the pool, the snooker room, and the gym, and all the things like that common. And coming down to the lobby and all that to the was all like common area. But even the parking, they couldn't, like, they could go from one side of the parking to the other side, like, but then they couldn't enter the building from, they could only enter, the card would only work from their side of the building, not from the opposite side. So because of that, we had two security guards. And during the day also, two people would cover the shift. So a supervisor and somebody else would cover the shift, like the morning. Then the afternoon shift, there used to be two people, and then us used to be the night shift, also two people. So when I had to go, my wife used to give me a call and said, "I'm little uncomfortable. Can you come and settle me?" Because in bed she didn't have the energy even to turn. She couldn't even turn on her own. She couldn't turn. If she's sleeping on her side, she's on her side. She can't even turn. Like from the side, you might be easy to turn on your back or stomach, but no, she couldn't even turn. No muscle to turn even, like. So she would just, barely manage to call me, dial my number, and they had that voice, no voice to text. So they had set that up for her. So as long as she could find my number, and then she could dial. That also was trouble because if she's lying on her back, or how to take the phone and then hold the phone and try to dial, because her fingers all were affected. Her fingers were like almost bent, like kind of. uh, so she used to sometimes use her knuckle she used to use to dial. uh I don't know if she could like switch on her phone, and was she able to use voice to call. Correct, you can sometimes use, I don't know that now, or was there that feature that time also, that she could call Winston, and then the phone would dial automatically. So I do not know if it was there at that time. I don't recall, I don't know. But I think it wasn't there because she did not have the facility, because the night she passed away, 3 times she must have tried to call me, but the messages were going into voicemail. There were 3 messages on voicemail. It was going into voicemail. So she couldn't get me to contact me and, leave a message. And like in the span of 40 minutes, 45 minutes, the 3 voice messages came. How she must have struggled and fought, my hair stands on end. I can't think what kind of a end she would have had. It's sad. Let's talk about something else. Steven says, I had 2 surgeries last year and missed a little over 3 months total. But in the best perk of being supervisor, but the best perk of being supervisor is that I still got paid normal pay, only missing overtime pay. That was very good. That was very good. For us, it is in Canada. It's not like you get normal pay. It's not that you get normal pay, but you go on to kind of like EI, employment insurance, kind of. You go on to that. You get EI, employment insurance, for the period of time you are sick. So that way you still get your basic pay. You just get your basic pay, whatever it is, you get that. But that is also only for a certain time, because like my manager also, she had something wrong with her, and she used to take off, and she used to take short periods of off. She used to get paid, but then she began to take longer periods of time, and then soon, like, they very politely said, like, we cannot keep extending, we cannot keep giving you these long period of time, like, so finally she had to, because I think the final time she went off almost for 6 months. So I think then they said, like, you have to just resign, like, better. So then she resigned. So US is good, or maybe your company is good. Maybe not US, but maybe your company is a good company. So they have some better facilities, or maybe some insurance covers that kind of it for a certain period of time as well. I don't know. But Canada, like my manager, they soon asked her to take off. Yes, the disability, like 80% of the salary. Yes, I think Canada also something like that. I'm not too sure. I never had it, so I do not know. My wife never ever took it. She carried on working as long as she could, and then I had to kind of tell her, like, it's time you packed in. Like, she used to. Nobody wanted to do a duty to go to the phone reception, to the reception desk, and relieve the person for lunch. So 1 hour, to relieve the person for lunch. Nobody wanted to volunteer to do that. But when the boss asked our manager asked my wife, like, would you do that? Like, and it's during your work time. So, you do that. You will have your own lunch break separately, 1 hour. But if you can do, and she agreed, she said, okay. So why not relieve that other lady? She can have her lunch, right? So she used to do that. And soon there came a time, like, she didn't want to take the walker to the office, and I used to tell her, take it. People will sympathize with you. They will understand, like, because she didn't want to mention that she had this ALS, like, and I said, let them be aware of it. because if you have any problems, you have to report to your management, and they can see that if you can still work, then they still see, and they give you a lot of benefits, right? They give you some kind of benefits and all that, regarding your work, like if you cannot do typing, then they would give you some other, like, just do filing and paperwork, and those kind of things. Or you can just speak to people, like, you can speak to people and all that. So, like, I used to tell her, you should do it. Then she agreed, and she started doing it, like, and then she started taking a walker to we used to take the walker to work. And then, like, I used to see, like, and then soon, as I mentioned before, her walking was getting slower. So she would take like about 10-15 minutes just to walk, and it was not far. Like if I walk normal walking, also I walked in 2 minutes, I would reach. But she would be taking a lot of time, like, 5, 10, 15 minutes, like, just to walk there. But then after that, they politely told her, like, Mari, you reached the stage. She didn't want to get up. What will I do in the house? What will I do sitting there? I can still speak on the phones. Yes, she could still speak on the phones and all. She couldn't do other things. She could still speak on the phones and all that. But then speaking on the phone was only one aspect of the work, right? So there was still so much. And she used to see to a lot of work, like, a lot of work. And then on the phones, everybody is expected to be on the phone. On the department, everybody is expected to be on the phone. And, like, if you're really involved in something at the time, then, you you let the carry on ringing, and then it goes off, and then it'll go to the next person. It's like your phone was engaged, kind of a thing. Your phone is not engaged, it will ring for some time, and then it goes off. If you don't answer, it gets connected to the next person who's available. So, those things could be done, like, but she could answer the phones. But anyhow, her speech was good, her mind was like 200%, it was working. But then, like, other things were there. So it became a problem for her, like, and I used to tell her, sit at home now, take it easy. Hello, Ia, nice to see you again. Mega mega loud shout out to you also. Yes, Pitar also is here. Maybe she's still having dinner or finishing dinner or something. She had gone off for dinner. Ia is my big supporter also. Ia, are both those blogs yours? Ia's vlog and Ia's mixed vlog, are they both yours? Or they are two separate people? Because Pita remind. Hello, Pita. Hello, hello, Pita. How was your dinner? Stomach is full? Wow. Okay. Thanks, Ia. Thanks. Okay. I first want to grow my I want to grow my one this. I did try to start another channel, but it wasn't very successful. I didn't want to tell people I've started a second channel. I just wanted to start something totally different and see, how can it pick up. How can it pick up? Yes, it also access support. You're right. It also access support. True. So sumptuous. Like yesterday, also you had a sumptuous dinner. Yes, like Pita has two phones, and like they are on different accounts. So Sometimes she watches my thing on both her phone also. Both her phones she will use to watch my videos or my live stream. She will use it on both the phones. Sometimes she will be on my live stream and have somebody else's live stream running on one of the other phones. I do that on my live stream. I have somebody else's live stream running. I had Machi's live stream running earlier because I got onto Machi's live stream in the morning. I didn't do live stream this morning. I had a lot of things to do and I'm taking a break for the morning. But I think I will do 1 hour. I want to keep it, I want to get something, some watch hours coming. So I think I will do 1 hour. The days I don't have cooking and all, I will do 1 hour, at least. I will get on. If people come and there are many people still on the thing, I'll stay longer. I will stay longer. But if there are not many people in the morning, then I will just stay for about an hour and then I will log off. So I'm thinking I will get back to doing that for 1 hour in the morning. But evening, I will keep my live stream going. Every evening, my live stream will go on at the same time, 6 o'clock Filipino time, 5 o'clock my time in Thailand. Yes, Iya's mixed vlog and Iya's vlog are both your accounts, Iya. That's nice. That's good. Yes, Pita found that out also. If you're using the same account, but you're on two phones with the same account, like a laptop and one phone, same account, then it only shows as one. It doesn't give you double watch hours. It only shows one. But if you are on two different accounts, then it will register as two different. Then the watch hours will be for two different accounts. You will get it. But if you register on two phones from one account, it will only be counted as one. As long as you log in from two separate accounts, then it's considered as two separate people. But if you log in onto one phone, if you log in onto two phones from the same account, then it's considered only as one person watching. The thing is, my laptop and my phone has the same account. I have another old phone, but the button where you switch on the phone, something is wrong. It doesn't seem to be working. So I have to take it and get it repaired and find out, and then I can start using it. I can have another account and I can start using that phone from that account. Thank you everyone for clicking on like. I saw the like is really going up a lot. So thank you everyone for clicking on the like button. Pita, I cannot see Apo ni Iya's mixed vlog. I cannot see, the emoticon is in the way. So as soon as I am able to, somebody else puts in a comment and it moves up, then I will be able to uh, click and make a moderator. Okay. Okay. Now I can see the three dots. Thank you for commenting. I can see the three dots and okay. Apo ni Iya mix vlog. I made you also the moderator on that one. Uh, Stephen Bennett up. In what connection, Stephen? I thought you had left the stream. Yes, Apo Eva, Apo. I've made you also moderator. Nice to see Stephen was still listening in. And thanks, Stephen. Thanks still for listening in. Yes, Stephen, thanks. Once in a way, yes. If the comment go once in a way, then it shows that the person was still active. But thanks, we all learn from Rosemary's. We all learn from Rosemary's live stream to keep it on. Even I saw others saying like, okay, don't worry, we are going to sleep, but we will leave it on. And I said, wow, that's a good thing. So when I'm doing cooking, I'm doing laundry, even if I'm going out for a little while to buy something, I will leave it on. I'm not taking my phone or laptop. So, like I get a vegetable vendor coming in a van, just across the road. Like so, when he comes around 9:15 to 10 o'clock, and he waits there. So I just hop across. So I leave it on, and I just hop across and buy whatever I want. So yeah, we all learned from Rosemary to do that. So it's now I do it for many others. I let the ads run also. I let the ads run so that it helps some revenue. It's small but it helps. Like I always say every tiny drop of water makes the ocean, right? Every tiny drop of water makes the ocean. So all this helps, all this helps. Just to mention something different. In Thailand here, they have like a small gas cylinder, and then like there's a burner stand, like a stand there, and the middle part where the actual burner has with the holes, the valve, that is connected to the main cylinder. So when you switch on the cylinder, like the gas comes out. So I had changed the gas cylinder recently, and they fixed it. And then when they turned it on and lit the flame came so big. But they said, yeah, it's working. Okay, they just switch it off. But it gave me so many problems because the flame was not regulated. It was just coming very high. Then suddenly it worked like that for a day. I cooked a meal, but the next time I went to heat up the food, it wasn't working. The flame was very, very low, and the food is not even heating up. So I called them again. I got somebody to explain to them in Thai, like, I was explaining to them by the translator. And then they was explaining to the person in Thai. And then he is saying, like, oh, you clean the valves, the pores, the holes, you clean the holes in the burner, you clean that and it should be working. So I cleaned it nicely, it wasn't working, poking each hole, cleaning, it wasn't working. Then I washed it nicely with soap and water and all. I washed it and all, you know, kept it soaking to remove the grease and, all those kind of things I did. Still, it wasn't working. Then the flame was very slow, very small flame, like, not working. So when I got back to them, then they said, okay, you need to change the whole new burner inside. It will cost you another. The cylinder was 200. This will cost you another 200. I told them the fault is not with the burner. The fault is with the gas regulator, which you are turning on and off. There is definitely a faulty, and so it's the cylinder's fault, not the burner. They don't listen. No, you this. So okay, I changed that. And they lit it immediately and said, now it's okay. And no, the minute I bought and I started using it, again we find now the flame. I can turn the valve full, I can turn the valve less. The flame is remaining the same. It's just a little small flame. And even to heat up my food, I don't have a microwave, and I don't like using a microwave for heating up food and all. So I it takes me like maybe 10 minutes to just become a little warm, like, so I have to really wait a long time just to heat up the food, and then I can eat it. And cooking, like today, my cooking took me maybe 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours it must have taken for it to finally cook, like, nonsense it is. So what they are saying now, no, we have already come many times. Now, if you want, you just purchase a new gas cylinder, then we'll come and change the cylinder, or wait till the gas runs out. I said, what you're talking about, the gas runs out. The gas is not even coming up. I can turn it full. It's still not even coming up. Now, what I want to do is I want to take a video of that and then see if somebody can, send a video to them. Or I must ask if they have a line ID, take their number, a line ID, and then send it off to them. But like, since I'm not dealing with them, somebody else is dealing with them, they will know, like, who. If I send it, they will not know who it is. So I want to do that. Today, that thought just struck me. Why not I make a video of it and then send, so they can see I'm turning it off and then I'm turning it on and I'm turning it full, and still there is no gas. That means it's not the burner. Now the new burner was put in. So it cannot be the burner's fault unless their new burner was faulty, right? So now they should be able to understand in their thick skulls that it is the fault of the cylinder. So you have to replace the cylinder free without me paying again for another cylinder. Because the cylinder is still like full, like, So very difficult to communicate if you don't know the language. It's really difficult in case of problems or emergency like this. Very difficult to communicate. And these people are the poor people. They are not educated. Like the other day, one guy came and I'm playing it on the Google interpret it in translator, right? The Google translator. So he should be able to at least hear and then understand what I'm saying. But the neighbor said something to the effect that no, he doesn't understand. Then how, when people are talking to him, he understands? So the translator is talking, he cannot understand. So, I also don't understand this communication. He is talking to the neighbor, but the neighbor is saying he cannot understand. And how can he not understand the translator if he's able to he knows Thai to speak? So, really doesn't, I do really cannot understand all this. So it's nice if you know the language of a country, then you can really get along with all these things. Okay, so in Philippines also has the same problem. Yeah, it's very this is cheating. This is cheating, and this is what I hate. When you are honest with people, they must be honest with you. And Thais are supposed to be very honest, but these are uneducated people who are doing these jobs. Uneducated people. So they don't care. Definitely your cylinder is faulty. Definitely your cylinder is faulty. So if it is faulty, it is your duty to replace it free of charge. I paid for a cylinder and the cylinder is not doing the work. If I buy a new car and it suddenly stops working, well, if they find some problem with it, they will have to change it without me paying for it, right? If I buy a new closet or something like that and the very next day the hinge comes off, it is their duty to come and see to it and replace the hinge, or see why did it come off the very next day. Back home, like, we can sue people for this, like, Canada and all, we can sue the agency for it. It's not right. It's not right. This is cheating. Your product is faulty, you have to replace it. Because as soon as they light it, the flame will show high and they will think, now, okay, this cylinder is okay. And after filling the cylinder, they will give it to somebody else again. It could still have the same fault. Apo ni means grandchild. Because I don't know in what context the grandchild. Does apo ni mean grandchild? Yeah, I'm asking for the name of the supplier. I'm asking what is the name, where is the office. I will take my damn cylinder to the office. I don't mind. I will pay to travel there. But nobody is giving. These Thais are very, very cliquish. I'm a foreigner, so they will take up for the Thai. So it's okay. I have time. I have all the time in the world. Whether my dish takes 1 hour or my dish takes 2.5 hours to cook, no difference, no problem. Let it take 2.5 hours to cook. When the gas runs out, then I will change it. I can wait 10 minutes to let my food heat up before I eat it. No problem. There is some gas coming out, right? So let it be for 2.5 hours, whatever gas comes out. It takes so long to heat up, then it takes so long to see the bubbles coming in the food. It's okay. I see to some other work. I leave that, let it be. Okay, Peter. I that's what I guessed. Yes, Apo ni yeah, grandchild of yeah, yeah. So Apo ni means grandchild. Okay, but if I don't see it again and after a long time I see it, I will forget. Like I saw a word here, and I know I was given the meaning of the word, but I'm trying to think. I've forgotten. Oh, I never even had time. I never even had time to search for the meanings and put it together. I will do. I should start doing that this week. Going back to the messages and searching for the translation, and then putting it onto a Word document because then it's easier. I can open the Word document and find it. I can't go through a whole chat just to find it, like, it's very difficult. I can go to search just to find it now, and then I can transfer it. So I'll do that this week. Yes, I'll do that this week. Okay, I've completed about 2 hours. I don't know how many are still. It is only showing Pitta. It is only showing Pitta. It's showing three people, but I can see only Pitta. So I do not know how many people are still here. So just remember Martha, Rusty, and Myrna. Martha, Rusty, and Myrna. Remember them in your prayers. Oh, wow, Stephen, you are still there. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks, Stephen. I really appreciate. I will still hang on for some time. No problem. Thanks so much. Thanks, Stephen. If there are many people, and they are interacting and all, then the watch hours, I get a considerable amount of watch hours. Now, when was it the other day? Maybe yesterday, I think. Yesterday or day before yesterday. Yesterday or day before yesterday. Let me see. 1 minute. I'm just tabulating. I'm just tabulating everything. Like, I'm always like that in certain things. I always, you know, I have my Excel sheet. Let me see which is the latest one. 126, 128, 128, 1916, 21. So this is the latest. So what I do is, yes, it was yesterday evening. Correct. It was yesterday evening. So I got 8 hours, because there were just a few people. There were just a few people who interacted, but they were longer on my stream. A few people who interacted, and they were longer on my stream. So I like got about 8 hours, watch time yesterday evening. So that was good, like, just to have few people, and but they were there for a longer time. So I got 8 hours. So that was very good. And I think I was on for only about an hour and a half or 2 hours, not more than that. I was on, let's say, for 2 hours, but I got 8 hours. And there are other times I've been on for more than 2 hours, but I've got less watch hours. There are times when I've been for 3.5 hours, but I've got less than even eight. I've got less than eight watch hours. So yeah, that way it's nice. It helps. It really helps. So Steven, thanks so much. That is the least support, like, so many of you give me, and I'm really appreciate that. It's good. I've come to in this short while that I started live streaming, I have come to, what is it? I need to I need to close one. Okay. Let me see which one I need to close, which window. What is this? I Yesterday I came up to 469 watch hours. Yes, I came up to 469 watch hours yesterday. So it's slow and steady. It's increasing. It's going up well. And then there are also people who are watching my videos, and then people are watching the replay of the live streams. Many are watching the deep replay of the live streams, and even if they are not watching it, they are like just keeping it on or whatever it is, so there are many that are doing that. So yes, that way I'm getting, so I just kept a tabulation on Excel. So I just keep it's fast, I can read it because I can see, previous day how much it was, how much it has progressed today. I can get an analysis of, what videos, what time, what it is, and what is good about it and things like that. Oh, thanks a lot, Stephen. Thanks a lot, Stephen. Yes, I really appreciate. Yes, even I keep some of my live streams, and now with videos I stopped. Before I used to keep the videos on, but now my live streams are longer than the videos. So I also keep every day. I keep some of my live stream on. Um, so maybe it is me only watching it, but then I'm watching every day, every day I'm watching a few. So I keep that on. So yes, I need 4,000 watch hours. I'm only 469. And what happens, no, Steven, they count the watch hours are for the last 365 days. So I will be completing, like Rosemary was telling me the other day, the watch hours may be going down because it's only counted 365 days. But what I was trying to reason with Rosemary is that I have not yet completed 365 days. My channel has completed 3 years. My channel has completed 3 years. But since I posted my last video, my first video, I've not completed 365 days. So let's just say by end of April or first week of May, by first week of May, I will complete my 365 days. Once I complete that, then the older watch hours of the older videos will not be counted. The watch hours of the earlier videos more than 365 days will not be counted. So I told Rosemary, I don't mind because the earlier videos, my videos never got many watch hours. You know, my shorts get a lot of views, have got a lot of views in thousands, but my videos have never got a lot of watch hours. So I don't mind if I lose those watch hours because my newer ones, my live stream is giving me more watch hours. So I can safely, what's the point of getting like one watch hour, getting like 1 hour, let's say maximum 1 hour or 30 minutes, when my live stream will get me at least 1 hour, if I'm 1 hour and few people come, I'm getting at least the 1 hour or 2 hours. So, you know, so what are you doing there? Cats playing up. Sorry about that. So if my earlier watch I crossed 365 days, Stephen, my earlier videos watch hours will not be counted, but they are few, hardly anything. So I can afford to lose it because in the 365 days, which is leading up to the to contemporary now, my watch hours are going to be much more. So it's that way. But I cannot see me getting 4,000 watch hours by first week of May. I'm only 469. So I cannot see myself getting 4,000 watch hours by being in Canada. I can get 3,000 to start monetization. But the other day, somebody mentioned to me that yes, they have reduced the subscription for certain countries and they have reduced the watch hours. But the monetization they don't mention, but it seems you do not get full monetization. There are only some things like you don't get ad revenue and all that. That will only come if you get the full 1,000 subscriber and 4,000 watch hours. Then you get, the super chats and all those kind of things, like, You can have all those kind of different ways of monetization. But if you only complete 500 subscribers and 3000 watch hours, you get only a very limited amount of for monetization till you reach the 1000 subscribers and 4000 watch hours. So okay, let it be 3000. I have to reach first before I reach 4000, right? So let me reach 3000, and then perhaps later on I can reach the 4000 limit, to get full this. So that is the problem with my watch hours. So okay, anyhow, I will have to have dinner and things like that. So thank you everybody for being on my live stream. I'm very very happy. We had good interaction. Stephen, thank you, I really thank you a lot, for staying throughout. And I will just put in a thank you note. So a big thank you to everyone. We had a lot of interaction. We have had a lot of fun. Thank you everyone for commenting on the theme that I had and giving your views. What the girl was thinking, and we had a lot of talk, a lot of interaction here. And Stephen, really, really, thank you so much. Thank you, Pita. Thank you, Ia. Thank you, Ia Mix Vlog. Thank you, Apo ni Ia Mix Vlog. Thank you to Maya. So thank you all of you. Really, I really appreciate, and we've had a very very good evening. Like yesterday, though I had few people, we had enjoyed a lovely evening, and today also we enjoyed a lovely evening. So I'm really really happy, and I look forward to tomorrow evening now again, and things like that. So everyone, love and God bless to everyone. Okay, thank you so much.